Tim Penny getting the juggles, and he almost would have been better to let that go into touch. But then Joe Woodbury, with the line at his mercy, gets the fumbles.
Wow, huge let-off there for the Butcher boys. It was a fantastic kick from Liam Foran, really put a lot of pressure on Tim Penny, and he's made a meal of it. And, yeah, just a bit of bad luck, and should be a second try for Cessnock within, 5 minutes.
Yeah, they've got the wobbles early here, the Butcher boys. They've got to be careful. And here's Ethan Ernst away to header. Cessnock can really put it into them early here. And it's Metcalf.
Stand up, Central! Wait, boys, wait.
Dimmick's there at dummy half. Apthorpe's going to have another go. Fourth run of the game. Only 6 minutes in. The secret weapon.
Hands down, Jerome, move! 2.
They're set out to the left here. Foran coming to the line inside to Hugo. And Hugo carting it up strongly.
3.
And Foran's deep here. They've got the whole back line basically set out to the right. Foran out to header. They might try the same thing. There's the flat ball again to Corey Barber this time, and he's over. It's the same play. It's a different player. And Corey Barber's in to make it 10-0.
Yeah, just hitting those lines hard, and the Cessnock defence is just not handling it, are they? Just another great little short ball from Liam Foran. He's really taken control of this game in the initial stages, and for Central, they just can't keep giving Cessnock this sort of ball in this sort of territory because they've got so many points in them and they're going to make them pay every time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. 7 minutes into the game, Cessnock have been able to set up camp down that end of the field twice, and twice they've come away with a try. And for that left edge defence for Central, there's a few questions being asked, I would reckon. Not least by the coach, who's probably giving them a bit of a rev up. One of the, as I said before, one of the great things for a coach, or for a captain coach, is you don't have to wait until half time to give the lads a spray. And I suspect they might be getting one now.
We'll see the assistant coach there, Steve Kidd, who of course was going as coach last year, is out there now, and he was looking pretty vocal as well. So, yeah, just defensively, they're looking really quite inept at the moment, but they've had no ball, so can't probably be too harsh until we see them get a little bit of an opportunity to attack as well.
Yeah, you'd think it has to even up, but I think the person to be happiest with that try would be Joe Woodbury, because they've managed to get the points anyway, even after he got the fumbles over on the left-hand side. As here's Willie header, and oh dear, he's put it to the left. Well, he shanked that one. He had one which only just snuck inside the right upright, and this one snuck wide of the left upright. So it remains 10-0. It remains 10-0 here. Cessnock over Central. And Central, well, after 8 minutes of this game, they find themselves under pressure. As here's the kick. And Dan Metcalf, oh look out, he's under pressure, but he got the juggles and did it well. And carts it back strongly.
Help! Stand up, Central!
And Cessnock can just set up again. They don't have to change much out of what they've been doing so far. The forwards are hitting it up strongly. And the halves are doing the rest.
Wait, boys.
And so Dimmick looks left here. Metcalf, he enjoyed the first hit up so much, he's going to have another one.
3! Let him go!
Not a baddie either.
3, well done. 3.
Now Dimmick away to Heta. And they look keen, don't they? Here's Apthorpe. Running the ball again.
Tackle! 4,
Central have had the ball
halfway.
once in the game so far.
4 done.
In nearly 10 minutes. As Hlad.
5!
And again, they're up to
lead in.
halfway to finish the
Back
set
in,
off the
wait
kick
for it,
off.
Wait for it, wait for it. Go!
And it'll be 4 and to kick it now.
Outside.
He jams it down further. It's got plenty of elevation on that. And it's going to make life a little bit difficult, but it pitches and goes over the dead ball line. So not too much pressure on Tim Penny that time. I'm surprised he didn't make him dance with that sideline again.
Yeah, I think he's going to get plenty of bombs after the way he handled that first one. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Foran and Header go aerial for at least a little while to try their luck again.
Help!
So Central get their second set of the game with the ball, and it's they had one Wilson to send at them first up. They had Jerome, and now they've got Cruz hitting it up hard. And Ethan Cook is eager to get the ball in his hands, but they go the inside instead, and it's Rowan Kelly.
2!
Central playing that familiar a half either side of the ruck at the moment. McBain away to Wilson.
3, we're back here.
And there's
Back
a
here.
little
Back
subcommittee to go in
3.
and bring the big man down. And down to the left they go. McBain gets it in his hands
Play
again.
on.
And they made decent ground into the Cessnock half this time of Central.
Go. 4,
It's
back
their
here.
first look down this
4.
half of the ground.
Good to go.
And Warboys has got to find something
Leading,
on the
leading.
kick.
It's all right.
It's a bit of an awkward one for Ethan Ernst, but he takes it well. And the chase is good.
Tackle,
And he's
mate.
grounded.
Stand up, Cruz. Jay.
Yeah, again, really didn't challenge the Cessnock fullback at all, did they? Sort of kind of a bit of a nothing kick. Probably should have went to the corner or went up high, but anyway, it's the first
Come on.
set they've had in probably 5 minutes for Central.
Yeah, they'll be happy just to get the ball. As here's a juggle there from Liam Foran, and then he got absolutely belted.
Stand up, Rowan.
But he looks like he's all right. He bounces back to
Good
his
head,
feet
Liam.
as header. They're kicking early
Outside.
every set, aren't they, Cessnock? And again, this one's down
Inside is what I
into
meant to
Central
say.
territory, turning Tim Penny around. And the chase is very strong as well.
Good
You'll
tackle,
notice
boys, back in.
Callum
Don't
Orchard
go
just
early,
took his first
Marcus.
run of the game. It's
One
the first
tackle.
time really we've seen a back have to take any of the work. The forwards are eager and they're getting involved.
Release it.
But now it's Central's turn with the ball again. Away they go. That's the
Three,
three,
let
Tom
him up
Morton.
there. 3.
They're a bit bunched up here, aren't they, Josh?
Yeah, lacking a little bit of organisation. No one's really good run there from Cale Bowen, but
Oh, we got the first
You're
penalty
right.
of the game. So referee Taylor there,
Sorry, Red.
as Tim Penny was grounded. He says it was a high tackle, I think, from Reid Hugo there. And so Central can stab one into the corner and have a crack at Cessnock here. I agree, though. The organisation has been a bit lacking. A lot of one-out running and not a lot more from Central so far. Oh, dear, that might be in. No, it's not. It was a good
Cat
attempt.
boys, back
Very
in.
acrobatic over there. Brendan Williams trying to keep that
Wait
in.
for it, wait for it. Go.
Got to be on your game around here today. They look up for it,
Hell,
Cessnock. As here's
Liam,
Rowan Kelly.
Back in.
Central
Back in.
trying to send one back.
Wait.
they certainly do. Their forward pack has been sensational so far. Just she said that they're not the biggest forward pack going around, but there are a lot of workhorses in there. A lot of young guys who are having a good crack.
Yeah, they're quite mobile as well. So here's McBain out the back to War Boys. He didn't get a hand on that. They'll get away with it. Now Penny away to Morton. And there's a bit of a job on here for Bamblett. He's pretty strong. He flings it back inside and Cessnock get the ball. Cessnock come up with it over there through Ethan Ernst. And he's going to say a forward pass and a Cessnock ball.
Well, yeah, the first little bit of danger there for Cessnock. And they shifted it quickly to the edge. It looked good there, Central. But, yeah, that pass was ruled forward, and I think correctly so.
Yeah, Dane Bamblett, we've seen him score tries from positions like that. He's very strong. Not the biggest bloke on the field, but quite strong and can find his way over the line. So they'll be glad to have kept him out.
Heads in. There's your
13
gap.
minutes gone here on Bar TV.
Yeah.
Morgan Campbell and Josh Leeson bringing you the first elimination final. Cessnock leading Central
Steal it,
10-0.
don't steal it. Help!
And it's Dan Metcalf with the ball.
How good is it that the finals are here, Morgan? Just had that such a stop-start season. Just feels like the comp's really starting to kick in now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Look, it'll just be nice to have 4 weeks in a row of football.
Go.
As much as anything else. It's been one of those years
good.
with that late cancellation for
Help!
Port Stephens.
3, stand up, wrong.
It's been like Swiss cheese. There's been gaps everywhere and a lot of weekends off. So it's good to have some continuity. You're quite right.
4.
It feels like the season's been going on for a long time. As here's Foran. And again, he's stabbing this
Outside.
kick and looking for the grass. He's not going to find it this time. Kaylee Bowen's got it. And he's a very dangerous man to be kicking to because he's quick in open play. But that time they managed to bottle him up. And they go to their only man on the right-hand side of the ruck, Josh Allison. Bit of concern over the tackle, but he fell into it. And now wrapping around. Oh, look at this. Jerome Wilson carting it up. And they've made a meal of it. But they're going to get away with it. Shoulder charge, I think's the call there. Bit of confusion amongst the Cessnock players, a bit of anger amongst the Cessnock fans. You could see what they were trying to do, and they managed to get away
Wait
with
here,
it.
boys. Wait for it. Wait
So
for
again,
it.
Central get a chance.
Go.
You'd have to think 10-0 down already. They've got to take one of those
Great
chances,
tackle,
Josh.
Reed. Let him up. 1.
Yeah, well, I think they've got plenty of points in them.
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Oh,
Rowan Kelly, well, he'll be getting a word from the coach after that play of the ball.
yeah, he'll be disappointed in that. I mean, he's a better player than that Rowan Kelly, and he's got plenty of experience. But yeah, that was a poor mistake, and it really changed a bit of momentum that the Butcher Boys were starting to create there as well.
Well, as soon as I said they need to take one of their chances, blown up for a knock on.
Yeah, the old commentator's curse.
Yeah, strikes again. It never fails. As they go to the left here, Cessnock, you're going to have a snipe at them off the scrum. But it's one of those differences in the game so far. Cessnock have had it
Tackle,
twice
let
up
him go!
Central's end of the field and scored both times.
Wait,
Central haven't
Go.
been able to. As here's Reid Hugo.
It's all good.
And he takes it up well. There's an
2,
appeal
Jerome,
from a couple
go
of
rolling.
players there for head
2,
high.
stand up.
Nothing
Wait,
given.
wait. Go.
Looking here to Halad. Strong tackle there around the legs. Dean McBain down low. Now here's Heta. Heta looking for it. Going the show and go. Very old-fashioned. He's a bit bigger than Brett Kenny, but there was a bit of it in there.
Hold the line. Square, Marcus.
Didn't come to too much in the end as Dimmick goes over to Foran.
Good now.
And feeds it away. That's Halad.
Final
2 runs in this
last,
set. And they've got them set out left and right. Cal Orchard was looking for the kick. He's not going to get it, though. They go the other side, Foran. He's jammed it down towards Penny. Bit of indecision here for Central, and Bowen eventually decides to pick it up. But it was all very leisurely for a minute there.
Tackle. Let him stand, Becky. Becky, boys.
White boys, struggling every time the kick goes down at the back there. The Butcher boys, just a little bit indecision on who's going for it, and Penny seems a little bit down on confidence on whether to catch it or not.
Roll out. 2.
Yeah,
to whether really attack the ball.
Good.
Yeah, that first one might have just knocked him around a little bit. As here's
3,
McBain.
hands on, Brendan. 3, Becky.
They're going to go to the right. Penny's getting involved at least. He's getting involved at dummy half, but Rowan Kelly takes it up.
Stand up. 4. Wait. Go.
Bit slow to his feet there, Rowan Kelly, but he looks to be okay. McBain back inside to Wilson.
Held it.
Just those 33 years there, mate.
Oh, there's no judgment here. Interesting to see they're trying to use the forwards to pass the ball a little bit as Warboys. He goes the old midfield bomb. Well, it's all nostalgia today. And Cal Orchard takes it very comfortably. And I saw him score a try here a couple of weeks ago from this sort of position against South. And that wasn't a bad run either. He's a big, strong runner in broken field play. And now they've got a roll on Cessnock. Here's Metcalf, bumping away from them. He might come back to this side. Orchard might get another look in.
Jerome. 2. Good work.
And they'll go to the left. And Dimmick, he fancies a little run. First time he's run today.
3, hands out. 3.
So header into dummy half. They're taking a lot of ground off them here. Foran with the short ball and the coat hangers out. But they get it back. Hugo gave it to Foran, gave it to Williams. And Williams is away over on the side. Throws it inside to Woodbury. And if the pass is back, it's a try. And a ripper at that. They're going to say the pass was backwards. And they're going to say that Cessnock are 14-0 in front in the Eliminator.
Oh, fantastic try. It would have been a penalty probably on that high shot, but the referee correctly played to the advantage, and Cessnock caught him on the overlap and made him pay again. But, yeah, I would have liked to have seen that last pass, though, on the replay.
Yeah, let's have a look here on the replay. Oh, I don't know about that one, Josh. I don't know.
Well, yeah, to me, it probably went forward.
Body language. You knew it was high, okay? Whilst there was no intent.
You can read about it in the paper tomorrow. Well, you can write about it in the paper tomorrow, but... there's not a lot anyone can do about it now, but the linesman over there, I think it was Greg Ricketts, he said it was okay. Referee Taylor said it was okay.
The whistle came up for them now.
So Cessnock, they might have got away with one, but it was terrific football. We haven't seen a lot of that from them this season. They generally hit it up through the forwards and try and steamroll over sides. So for them to have scored a try with some quick backline movement will be very pleasing to the coach. It's caught them out a couple of times this year, being too one-dimensional and trying to just go up the middle all the time. So good to see the backs getting involved.
So glad I didn't blow a penalty for a high tackle.
And Willie Header, well, just for a change of pace, he's kicking from the other side of the ground.
Good kid, isn't he?
Yeah, well, just the ball movement today has been really swift and crisp in the halves for the Goannas, and again, like you saw, Header and Foran got the ball quickly to the edges again and caught the central defence. They sort of came up too quick and they were caught loose, and another great bit of work, and Joe Woodbury finished it off beautifully. Got that try that he missed a few minutes earlier.
So here's Header, and it's on its way. No, it's wide. It's across the face. So the goal kicking's let Central off a little bit, but it's 14-0. After only 20 minutes. Gone by quite quickly, 20 minutes really. Probably not if you're a Central fan, I suppose. But every game of the finals, of course, will be live on Bar TV. All of this weekend's games, all of next weekend's games, the preliminary and, of course, the grand final. And on grand final day, Bar TV will be bringing you every one of the games. The open grade, reserve grade and first grade. And a huge charge there from Dan Metcalf. And I reckon Tom Morton might not go looking for him again. And Metcalf's going off for his the first interchange made by Cessnock today as they roll forward very well.
It's just not fair, is it? When you sign up to become a centre, you just don't expect to be cackling blokes like that.
That's right. He loves that too, Dan Metcalf. He loves running wide. As here they go, Cessnock, and they're kicking early again through 4 and jamming it down. And Penny, well, he's going to get this one on the full. That was a good take running backwards. But the roll is very well and truly on for Cessnock.
Stand up, Brent!
They're steamrolling them in the forwards at the moment. And Central need to find something. Now, what's happened here? Linesman Ricketts has come flying in at great speed here. This will be interesting. He was very eager to get involved there, so he's going to have a bit of a chat with
No idea
referee
what
Taylor.
this is for. Yeah.
I didn't see anything, I must say. We'll have to have a look at the replay in a moment. But
Okay, don't know you wrong.
who's he going to call out? He's
16,
calling
Ryan,
out
16.
Sean Metcalf, who was on the other side of the field.
The penalty over there. The penalty to you over
So
there.
Ricketts is having a word here.
Okay, I need you to listen to the touch judge report to me.
Maybe a raised knee or something.
Yeah, possibly. Here's the replay as Penny brought the ball back.
Listen to me. You've heard
Well,
it.
Metcalf's on the other side of the field.
The head's sacred, all right? I'm trying to look after everyone's head.
Oh, goodness knows.
I
Unless
think
he
it might have
said
been from
something.
that.
That might be what it is. Metcalf is the captain today. He did lead the team out, and they're having a word to Sam Apthorpe. They're just saying that there was a hold down, maybe the use of a knee there. And hang on, Woodbury might keep this in. He has, he has. And Foran will take it back, but they're going to say knock on to the, what should we say? The constructive criticism of the Hill. I think it's fair to say. There's a few over there who might not have agreed with that decision. It's one of the good things about running on the hillside. And you've got plenty of experts to help you out.
I'm sure it's only constructive criticism over there too.
Right.
There'd be nothing more sinister than that.
No, you wouldn't have thought so. Anyway, so instead of getting a tap, they get a scrum Central. They've probably got out of that transaction all right. But they want to be careful. It's the second time Cessnock have had a little nibble at keeping the ball in.
Well, there's the world's biggest 5'8", taking the ball.
It's the modern scrum, isn't it? It's a beautiful thing. Jerome Wilson playing 5'8". Welcome to Rugby League in 2015. And now here's Cruz Wilson. He's taken a bit high though, but there by Metcalf.
2 hands out, Brent! Move it, Josh! 1, tackle 2.
And Delaney and Central, well, they need something now. Here's McBain, goes short to Wilson.
3, hands
He
off!
almost backed into the line, Craig Young style there. And they're looking to the right. Cook. Out the back to Penny. This is good play. Kaylee Bowen's got to run to the line and he's going to score. Oh, no, he's not. He's dropped it. Well, the cover defence from Cessnock was good. And Kaylee Bowen's got the fumbles at the try line.
Oh, he's bombed that for all money. It was fantastic work there from the Butcher boys.
It certainly was. Like, beautiful set piece.
But, it looked like he had time to get that ball down and just must have slipped out of the fingertips as he's gone to place it.
Surrender!
Well,
It's a 0, boys. Come back.
so Kaylee Bowen, well, you'll have to say he bombed one there. In the tackle, the Cessnock defenders got across well,
Help!
but he still would have fancied himself to score there. And it's a real missed opportunity for Central. As Heta goes away, and here's Halad.
2! Movement Central! 2.
You notice the Cessnock halves, they're very eager to get involved today. Both Foran and Heta, they've had the ball in their hands a lot more than they otherwise
3!
would.
Stand up,
Very
Jace!
involved and very talkative as well.
Wait, boys. Go.
They go to the short side here. Here's Foran. He's kicking this one low and into the corner. They might get a 20 tap here, Central, because that one's going to go dead by a fair way. So he didn't quite get his angles right that time, Liam Foran.
Well, there's a wealth of big match experience in the Cessnock halves, of course. Liam Foran's played a lot of NRL, and you've got Hedder, who was the good player of the year down in Albury last year and won the grand final with them. So they know how to get sides over the line in these sort of semi-final matches.
0.
Yeah, they've been there plenty of times. As a Cessnock resident, you don't have to
Tackle 1,
remind me.
stand up, boys! 1.
Last grand final win was in 2003, of course, but since then, they've been back 5 times, haven't been able to get across the
Brendan,
line.
hands out! Wait here, Will. Wait here. Go. 2 done.
And away goes Warboys now. He's going to have a little run here. He's going to have a very good run. And suddenly he's got numbers both sides. And Warboys has gone the chip and chase. And it's an absolute ripper. He puts it in the toe. It might stop. It's going to stop. But Callum Orchard gets on the ball and saves the day. It's back to the middle for a dropout. But Jordan Warboys, where did that come from? That's exactly the sort of inspiration they need.
Fantastic. Probably should have tried to pick up that last one instead of putting on the boot a second time, because I think he would have been home. But fantastic work by Cal Orchard to get back there and win the race to the football and save his team from a certain try. But as you say, fantastic work by Jordan Warboys. It's a type of spark that the Butcher boys really needed.
And it's the sort of thing that if you know a halfback can do that, they're going to be a lot more watchful around him in future as he gets it again here and hands it off to Jerome Wilson. One thing about Central, they can use the ball. They do like to throw it around, so they should have points in them. As that's the 16 on the field, Terry Collins taking it up. They've used an interchange of Central.
How fantastic is it seeing a halfback do the chip and chase? I mean, you don't see that much in the NRL these days. It's all very structured, but it's one of the great things about the real NRL. You still see that sort of off-the-cuff, brilliant play.
Absolutely right. Nothing gets the crowd off their feet like the old chip and chase. Now they're going to the left here with Dean McBain.
4, stand up, read!
For the first time, you'd have to say Central have got the ball right on the Cessnock line as Cook. He's looking inside, he's looking outside to the captain coach, who goes through a gap you could have driven a bus through and scores Central's first try. Well, again, something out of the training ground, and Central are on the board.
Well, Rowan Kelly will be talking about that for a week or two, I'd not imagine, but he didn't have to do much. It was the easiest of tries, but fantastic work. I think it was Dean McBain who held the ball up and drew 2 defenders, I think, to get the pass.
I think it was Ethan Cook.
Oh, Ethan Cook.
As we have a look on the replay here, and it's Ethan Cook just holding it up.
Yeah.
And a run through there from Josh Allison. And Rowan Kelly's over for the try, and I reckon that that might get a few runs in the video session this week.
Well, maybe there was a little bit of Ethan Cook repaying his captain for a big rap he gave him in today's paper, so helping him out and scoring a try. So
got to look after the coach. But Central are on the board, and with some of these missed kicks from Cessnock, all of a sudden, the gap is not too much. 14-4, and if this goes over, they'll only be 8 behind, despite having everything go against them so far in this game. 26 minutes gone here at Cessnock. Cessnock 14, Central 4. And between the War Boys chip and chase and then that bit of nice play from Ethan Cook, Central have suddenly got a bit of a spark. And Dame Bamblett's got the ball on the tee. Getting some encouragement and probably some coaching advice over there. Here he comes. It's a wobbly old thing, but it's gone to the left. It didn't look too nice off the boot, I must say. So it's Cessnock 14, Central 4, and that's the way it remains. But Central have fired a shot. And one thing about Cessnock this season, they can have very good periods, but they can have very bad periods as well. And they've let plenty of sides back into games that they should never have got back into, not least last week against Curry. So there might be a bit of nerves here. And forward comes Central with Jerome Wilson, absolutely steaming into them. I think that might be his last run. Daniel French is prowling on the touchline. And they'll replace one Kelvin Fridge with another as they go away to the short side here with Hosking.
2, release!
Oh, he's lined up for another one.
He's lined up again, look out. Up he goes. Not a bad run either, Jerome Wilson. Very keen to get involved.
He's been a bit like that this year with Central. Few games he looks like he's not interested and wasn't trying, but then other games, like today, he looks like he's really on. So if he's playing well for the Butcher boys, well, they're a massive chance because on his day, he's one of the most damaging props in the comp.
Here's War Boys, and he chips this one down, and this is going to find Ernst on the chest. You're right what you say about Wilson, but also that's a great tackle from Tom Morton. He's played quite a lot of minutes. That's 28 minutes he was on the field for a big front rower like he is in the modern game. That's quite unusual. As here's Cal Orchard taking it forward. After a good set from Central there, they busted a few tackles and made plenty of ground. And Cessnock need to respond. And suddenly they are using their wingers. Orchard took the last hit up. Woodbury takes this one. And now Hetta away to Metcalf. And War Boys is strong and stands up in the tackle.
Tackle 4,
he can pick out the little man in the defence, Metcalf. And this is the 13, Brett Stevens.
5, let his leg go. Last one. Go on.
And it's over to Hetta.
Yeah, poor War Boys. He's had the Metcalf brothers running at him all day. He's going to wake up sore tomorrow.
I'd reckon, as Cale Bowen now. And that was a bit of a hospital pass from poor old Tim Penny there.
Square markers!
He's probably cost his side 10 metres with that one. He might have been better to just take the tackle as here comes Allison. Been very good for Central this year.
Held! Let him go!
Good attacking weapon out in the centres. And he's thrown to ground, and referee Taylor says, well, you're not allowed to do that.
That's not what happened.
That's Brett Stevens who's done the judo throw there. Metcalf trots over for a word. He'll never run so much in a game of football against Sean Metcalf as he has today, running over to chat to the referee on the other side of the field.
Red line, red line.
And this time, the kick for touch goes up onto the hill.
Wait for it, boys. Wait
He's
for
certainly
it.
embracing his captaincy duties.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell! Let him go. Play it properly, Rowan.
So they come to the left. Here's Daniel French, and this is his first card up on the field.
2.
A very
Release.
big man, much like the man he replaced. And here's McBain. Short ball from McBain to Collins. It's not a baddie either. They're showing a bit with the ball all of a sudden here, Central.
Back here, boys. Back here.
And you can sense the momentum starting to turn. Warboys with the ball in his hands. Puts the little kick through. It's come back off Metcalf. And he found legs there, and Metcalf was able to dive on it. They'll be disappointed with that, but it wasn't a bad idea.
2. Movement.
But Central are starting to show something. And the crowd are starting to show something as well. They're getting involved
Stand up,
with the
Jace.
usual
Jace.
get him onside, Taylor. I don't think I've ever been to a game at Cessnock with Taylor as referee where that hasn't been yelled out at least 15,000 times.
Tackle. 4.
And I reckon
Move.
we're almost there already.
4. Wait. Go. 5. Stand up now.
So Brendan Halad
5. Right
takes it up.
back.
You expect Taylor to be the grand final referee again this year, Josh?
I think so, yeah. For me, he's still the number one referee in the comp.
Oh dear, Liam Foran. Well, we did say the momentum was starting to shift a little bit. That'll help.
Yeah, well, 9 minutes left in this half. I mean, a try here for the Butcher boys would certainly put them back in the game.
Suddenly it looks like an even half if that happens, doesn't it? When it really hasn't been for most of it. But Liam Foran with the old shank off the left. And Central are beautifully positioned here to set up again.
Let him go.
So Delaney looking to the left. And Terry Collins has been eager since he's come on. He's run a few good lines.
2.
As the
Movement
14,
now.
I reckon the smallest man on the field by a
Wait.
good distance, Shane Ryan. He's on the field and looking for the ball. And Jace Delaney looked at him twice, and he mustn't have liked the look of him because he kept throwing the dummy. And now Ryan's into dummy half. I think Delaney will go into the forwards now. Warboys across to Hoskins.
4. Stand off. Hands up. Willie.
Have
4.
they got another trick shot
Wait for it.
to throw at Cessnock here? Warboys. Couple of dummies. Delaney flattened.
5.
Big tackle from Reid
Stand up,
Hugo.
Reid, square.
Last tackle. To the right they go with
Play
Cook.
on.
They might try for another set here. It's not a bad kick. And in goes Ernst, and they're going to drive him back. And Allison's got him. And like a sheep shearer at the Pelican Sheep Station, he said, come here, and threw him onto his back. And Central can pick it out from under the posts.
Yeah, finally a good kick on the last tackle there from the Butcher boys. They've probably taken a few bad options, but that was a beautiful weighted kick there from Ethan Cook and a good solid chase too. Belted the Cessnock fullback back into the in-gold area. But we've got another 7 minutes left, so there's certainly plenty of time here to get another try and get it to within 4 points going into the break, which would be a great result considering the dominance of the Goannas.
Absolutely right. That's Dane Bamblett. He got the high stepping there, but he gets away with it. Quite right, though. It would be a very good result and good match awareness from Ethan Cook to put that kick
Push
in.
off there, Cal. Just get up.
Getting back to the sheep shearing, mate. Do you see that sheep on the news the other day?
I did actually, yeah.
Move.
I reckon they would have needed a committee to shear him. He was enormous.
3 again.
The
Hands
importance of
out.
sheep grooming. There you go. You get the lot here on Bar TV. As Shane Ryan with the ball. Over there to Cook. Long ball out there to Allison. That's a good pass. And it's opened it up for them a little bit here. And Allison lost his footing at the crucial moment. Ryan did well to get across to dummy half. Here's Kelly. Away to Cook. Short ball to French. He'll be hard to stop centre field. And in came Metcalf. And they might be short to the left here with Metcalf getting in on that tackle. They've got Brett Stevens playing in the centres at the moment, but they're going to go back the other way. Short ball to Delaney. You can see what he was trying to do. It's back to Ryan. They might come back this way at last. Warboys with a bit of a snap kick. Up they go, and it's taken finally by Cal Orchard in the contest, who did very, very well over there. He's having a solid game, and Cessnock get away with it.
Wait for it. Go, 1 done.
Yeah, great defence from the Goannas. That was had a little bit thrown at them there by the Butcher boys, but just up in their face and put a lot of pressure on the halfback there at the end. And I think Barney Miller would be pretty happy with that.
Jace. 3.
They were just as I say that he's got shaking his head, but might be doing more about
Look
the
out.
refereeing.
Oh, the crowd are happy. That was a crowd penalty if ever there was one. They were into him. Poor old John Taylor. He copped more off the Cessnock crowd, I reckon, than any other over the years.
I know, that Curry crowd's pretty vocal.
That's true. Yeah, there's a few experts there as well, don't worry.
I've been there a few days and I've learnt some new words, I'll tell you.
It's always an education.
White
Suddenly Cessnock have got a chance, and I think after all the momentum Central have had, if Cessnock would have put a try on them here, it'd be a bit of a heartbreaker. As Corey Barber throws the short ball to header, and that was a bit of a trick shot off the tap. You don't often see the attacking play off the tap like that as he's Halad. Centre field 20 out. Beautiful position for them. That's the 17 at dummy half. Oliver Powell onto the field. That's their second change, Cessnock. As infield the ball comes. Brendan Williams thrashing about on the ground there. They look right. Halad. Bit of Canterbury action here out the back to Metcalf. They might keep going this same side. Headers in at dummy half. They do. It's on the boot and a slips catch. An absolute beauty from Tom Morton.
Let him go, boys.
And Michael Clark would have been proud of that one.
Back.
And Central come up with the ball.
It was taken better than Michael Clark was taking him in the last Ashes series.
Yeah, well, he caught it. No wonder he'd be proud. And Hostings is going to take it up here for Central.
We're back here. On the 30,
the game's a lot more competitive in the last 20 minutes in the second part of this half, as there's 4.5 minutes to go here. Cessnock 14, Central 4.
Yeah, it's been an entertaining game thus far. Some wonderful tries and some really good attacking football and also some good defence, especially from Cessnock. So, yeah, been a quality first sort of 36 minutes.
Come on, boys, onside.
Yeah, you expect every final to be entertaining. They're up quickly here on Wall Boys. They forced him to run. And what can they do with it? They go across to Cook, and Cook decides to kick there. He did have the numbers to the right, but thought better of it. And suddenly Woodbury, he's going to get tackled on about the 40-metre line here as he comes forward. And he is indeed dragged down 35 out from his own line. So Cessnock well placed. The territorial battle just swinging back their way.
Yeah, it's just sort of letting them down, isn't it? That kicking game. There's a few options on the last tackle that have been caught and had to been pressured into putting rush kicks away while the Cessnock halves have looked like they've got plenty of time.
Good charge there from Cal Orchard. There's a bit of trouble here for Ethan Ernst. He's down and he's looking like he's got a bit of a problem with his hamstring here on the 50-metre line. They have got a fullback on the bench, so they might not be too stressed about that, but he's running a bit freer now as Foran takes it up.
Back here, all back.
He's trying to get up into the line here, Ethan Ernst. They're putting a backline move on. As Heta puts the kick up, Cale Bowen's got a challenge here because Woodbury's coming. Woodbury's got it! You can see him coming off the back fence, Joe Woodbury. He's very good in the air. And he comes up with the try, and that's one right in the guts for Central. Cessnock lead at 18-4 with a kick to come.
I think Cale Bowen looked like he just had it, and he actually basically just snatched it straight out of his hands, didn't he, as he's come on through. But again, great kick here from Willie Header. He's weighted this perfectly.
I think they'll come back at this time.
Right on the line, and there's not a thing Cale Bowen can do in that situation than stand his ground, jump for the ball, and hope he catches it. And the 50-50, some of them you're going to win. And it came up for them there. As you see on that Bar TV replay.
Certainly one of the major differences between these two sides in this half, I think, is the superior kicking game from the Goannas. They've looked wonderful, and another prime example there from Willie Header.
Well, Willie Header's got a chance to take another kick here. This is his hardest of the day. He's over on that sideline. The better side for a right footer, as they say, but still very, very difficult indeed.
I am actually.
As there's 2 minutes to go in this first half. Four tries in the first half. I reckon Coach Miller would have taken that. Again, all 28 of the ball boys are down there ready to go. As here comes Willie Header. Taking his time with it. Here he comes. It's on its way. That might not be a bad one, actually. Yes, it's over. It looked good off the boot. And Cessnock have hit 20. 70 seconds to go in the first half. It's Cessnock 20, Central 4. And a crowd which has spent a lot of this season being nervous and twitchy and angsty, well, they're entitled to feel pretty good as they head towards halftime.
But as you saw last week, well, they led 20-6 at halftime, didn't they?
Oh, here we go.
So they can be reined in. So
Now start.
I'm sure that's what the Butcher Boys
Good.
will be talking about at the break. That there's still plenty of opportunities to come back in this game.
Yeah, history would suggest that against Cessnock, you're never out of it.
Help! Heads out, Daniel! Wait, boys,
So you
not
never
early,
know.
not early. One.
And this is Dan Metcalf.
Help! Let it back. All the way.
And they're looking both ways here. Here's Brett Stevens taking it up.
3! Frenchie!
And there's only about 20 seconds to go here, so this should finish off the half. I wonder if they're going to try something here. They go short of Metcalf, and there's about one tackle left in the half, you'd imagine. Maybe a chip and chase or something. Let's see if they play it safe. Inside to Foran. He got absolutely clouded by Delaney. Went on with it, and it's last tackle. There is time. Last tackle of the half, and Stevens is going to go on a little run. Loses his footing, and that's about all there's time for. In the first half here at Cessnock Sports Ground, Cessnock, well, the crowd are on their feet and clapping them in to half-time. There's a lot of patting on the head and patting on the back and patting on the bottom. They're very pleased with themselves indeed, Cessnock, and they're entitled to be. They lead it 20-4 as they go in for half-time. Josh, your thoughts on the first half and what Central need to do in the second?
Well, I think probably the scoreline 20-4 is probably pretty indicative of the Goannas' dominance. I think they have been the far better side, and the Butcher Boys, I suppose, they had some opportunities there which they failed to take. Of course, we saw Carl Bowen drop the ball over the line in the far corner. But overall, I do think that the signs are there for the Butcher Boys. If they can get more possession, improve their kicking game, they certainly have the points to get back in this game. But at the moment, Cessnock are looking very good.
Yeah, I think that's right. Well, we'll see what happens in the second half. We'll be back in a few short minutes for the second half here at Cessnock Sports Ground. In the Eliminator, Cessnock lead it 20-4 at the break.
Real guys, real sport, Bar TV.
Welcome back to Cessnock Sports Ground for the second half here in the Real NRL Elimination Final for 2015. Central, well, they've got a job to do in the second half. They're 20 points to 4 down against Cessnock. Morgan Campbell's my name. I've got Josh Leeson with me. Josh, what are you expecting in this second half?
Well, I think for Central, I think the big key is basically just to get that kicking game going a bit better. Obviously, they're going to have to throw a bit more at the go-enders as well. So I suppose this first 10 minutes is going to show a bit. If they can sort of get back in the game, maybe with a try or two, it's game on. But if Cessnock score again, I think it might be game over.
The old next to score, eh? It's a classic. So Central have got the kickoff lined up here. Referee Taylor is giving very short shrift to a few of these kids who are on the field. There are a lot of kids out there at halftime, which probably indicates there's lots of people here at the ground, and it's a pretty big crowd. And I think just having a look around the grandstand, that's about right. Plenty of interest around town, certainly in Cessnock in today's game. And that's pretty well reflected in the crowd. Even on the hill, there's plenty in as we're away in the second half here. Central 16 points behind, looking to save their season. And Dan Metcalf takes the first hit up of this second half. And this is Corey Barber, very strong in the first half. Didn't have the highest work rate out there, but busted through a couple of times, not least for his try, the second of the game. Now they go inside to Hetter, and he's away to Stevens. Stevens, very versatile. He's played everywhere bar prop in the Cessnock side over the last few years, I think. Now Halad. He's in the 13 today, is Brett Stevens.
Stand square.
And basically playing as a lock. Down the short side to Foran. Now he put the last one of these type of kicks out on the full, but this time he finds the turf. And it's Tim Penny bringing it back and met by a very good chase. But they start the second half, much like Cessnock started the first, on about the 30-metre line after the first set. There's Cale Bowen, he's wrestling and wrestling with them. That's a good determined run.
Yeah, be fired up for a big second half after bombing and trying the first half, and also having a couple of tries scored down his wing as well, so he's got plenty to make up for.
So here's Hoskins, and he's belted there by Liam Foran, and that'll be a shoulder charge, I think. The crowd certainly don't like it. A bit of invective from the crowd, but...
Bit harsh in my book. I thought there was an arm there.
There was certainly an arm present in the tackle. How much effect it had, I don't know, but it was a close one there for referee Taylor, and he's given the penalty. So Cook kicks it into touch. I think he's a little bit burnt by nearly missing touch a couple of times. That was a pretty conservative kick into touch. He nearly put it on the roof of the grandstand. It went about 10 metres as Josh Allison comes forward. And that's a very good run. He's taken about 15 metres off them here. And now they're a chance. Ryan away to Delaney. And Delaney, much like Brett Stevens, is playing as a lock at the moment. Ryan's playing dummy half. He gives it away to Collins. Out the back to Penny. It's all just come a little bit unstitched there for Central. The attack not quite working as crisply as it did a couple of times in the first half. War boys. Collins.
4 movement.
Ryan. Out the back to Cook. Good ball to Hoskins, but it goes to ground. And Woodbury's going to fall on the ball. And Cessnock, well, they're going to get the ball back. Central with an early snipe at them there. And Cessnock survive. A bit of high drama up here in the commentary
box. A bit of a
box.
hurricane has came through the media box.
Yeah, you might have caught some of that on the commentary. There's a bit of upset about some Newcastle Rugby League restrictions about what time the bar needs to be closed, I think. And the Cessnock officials are not that happy about it.
Yeah, nothing gets people more upset than closing a bar early. It's just un-Australian.
Don't lift. Help.
Well, Brendan Williams has got the ball. He's going to have to come back.
Thanks, mate.
Tony Brown might be here today.
He might well, as they come away to Reed Hugo. Carting it up strongly.
Jack. Stand up, 2.
And Cessnock working the ball up the field. And that looks like it might be Sam Apthorpe there.
Jackie, stand up.
And away they go. And this is Metcalf.
4. Stand up, Daniel. Jackie.
Pretty steady start to the second half for Cessnock. Not too much chucking the ball around as Barber is chopped down. That was a lovely tackle down there by Jordan Warboys, who stood up in defence pretty well today. Heather away to Foran. And Foran's going to jam this one down to Cale Bowen. And Bowen comes back. And he's going to try and get something going. There's a broken defence line there, and he won't like that, Barney Miller, because they opened it up there for Cale Bowen. And he's taken a good 20 metres with that run.
2 good runs to start the half for Cale Bowen.
Surrender!
He's looking determined.
Ryan now back inside to Delaney. They were trying to work a bit of a move around the ruck there, but they were awake to it with Cessnock.
It's all good.
As Powell got there, now here's Ryan taking it forward and Wilson. And they're trying to get the ball going up the middle.
4, hands off. Reed, move. 4, wait for it. 4, go.
And Ryan's looking left and right. It was very slow play, the ball. Took a bit of the momentum away.
5,
Jerome
hands
Wilson
out, Brad.
looking to restore that momentum.
Wait, boys, wait, boys, wait, boys.
And they're going to go to the left here for the kick from Warboys. What have they got this time? The
Jason's
kicks have been a bit flaky in this first half as the ball goes up. And Orchard comes down with it. Hasn't he had a half and a bit so far? Callum Orchard had a terrific game thus far in the day. And a pretty good season on balance as Sean Metcalf comes forward with it.
Movement central.
Yeah, both the Cessnock wingers have looked very solid today, haven't they? They've caught everything that's come their way, and no mistakes from memory. And of course, Woodbury's had the 2 tries. So yeah, Barney Miller will be very happy with what his backmen are delivering for him today.
4, red line,
they're
red
very
line.
confident back three.
Stand up, 15.
They've had a bit of trouble with the fullback position this year, Cessnock. They've used a few different people there. As there's a little run out of dummy half and a penalty.
Marker, you're offside.
He did see something. Oliver Powell went for a bit of a scamper and caught a couple of the central defenders offside.
Red line.
Yeah, yes, of course, probably down to their 3rd choice fullback today. I mean, they've lost Kerrod Holland, played barely any games this year due to Knights commitments, and he's one of the premier fullbacks in the comp. And then Geordie Connolly also out for the season with a shoulder injury too. So
here's Sam Apthorpe. Cessnock, well, they can sink the knife in here. 20 points to 4, 34 minutes to go.
Wait, boys, wait, boys.
Powell's in at dummy half and looking to Foran. And Foran's got options left and right. He goes left to Reed Hugo, and he's galloping forward, and he can reach out and get the ball down. And Cessnock scored to go 20 points clear. And he had no right to score from there, Reed Hugo, but he had to crawl at one stage and stumble at another. And he finally got the ball down. And Cessnock 24 leads Central 4.
he's one of the smallest second rows going around, but geez, he's strong. We saw right there, he broke through the first line of defence, and they tried to drag him back, but he just sheer determination got through and got the ball down. Great try.
He eventually got into a gallop, but he needed to work into it. I think you must be psychic, Josh. I know you wrote about Reed Hugo through the week. Was that in view of this game, thinking he might have something up his sleeve?
Yeah, well, I've watched a fair bit of him this year, and I really rate the kid. I think he's played really well. He's had a real breakout year, and in my opinion, he'd be the rookie of the year when the awards are given out next week. I have no idea who actually will get the award, but for me, he'd have to certainly be the favourite. I think he's been fantastic, and he's playing well again today.
Yeah, he'd be a candidate. Cessnock have got a few in that regard. Noah Easton's been very good this year. He's not in the team today, of course, but he's been very good. And they've had a couple come through. Joe Woodbury's another who's been very good, and Cal Orchard as well. So Cessnock, they have promoted a few younger players this year and got pretty good value out of them. Now, Willie Hedder, he's getting pretty good value out of his boots today because this is his 6th attempt at goal. He's taking a very narrow angle. He's not gone back even 20 metres to take this kick, but he knows what he's doing. He's put it straight over. And that's why he's down there kicking the goals, and I'm up here talking about them. And Cessnock 26 leads Central 4.
You'd have to think it's going to be pretty hard for the Butcher Boys to come back from here, but it's certainly not out of the question. But just the way that Cessnock's playing, I'd find it pretty hard for him to be able to fight back because the go-inners really look on song today.
They do. It's been hard for them this year to put 80 minutes together, but they've put 58 minutes together so far, as there was nearly a bit of drama there with Zeb Dunstan and a collision, but they got out of it all right. And forward they come, and this is Zeb Dunstan again. This time he wants to cart it up. And the forwards look eager. That's only the fourth interchange they've just used to bring Dunstan onto the field. The coaches, I notice in the real NRL, are quite sparing with those interchanges, knowing they've only got 10.
Back here, hold.
They tend to have the forwards playing quite a lot of minutes. A bit of push and shove there as well with Sam Apthorpe and Jerome Wilson. They're still having a word on the way back. And they're still having a word on the way back as Tim Penny's got the ball. That was a very long chat. Came to nothing, of course.
I'm sure they was talking about, maybe restaurants they might like to go to later tonight.
You'd imagine so.
Maybe sort of recommendations of local bands and sort of stuff.
What do you like? What do you like in your tea? All that stuff. Yeah. This is Jace Delaney coming out of dummy half.
3, come back with us. Work hard.
And they're a bit bunched up again all of a sudden, Central, but they've got him to the left as they go over there to Morton.
4
And he's
tackle,
taken down by Heta.
4, wait, go.
Now Warboys and Wilson. And he's run, I think, straight at Sam Apthorpe there and got the better of him. So Apthorpe might have learned a little lesson there about talking to blokes that are bigger than him, because it was a good charge. And they go to the left. Here's Warboys on the toe. Nice little kick, but it's going to be taken there by Ernst.
Tackle, back here.
And Cessnock, well, they're controlling the game at the moment. Cal Orchard brings it back. He's very hard to put down, but this time, in the end, the three of them have got the better of him and they've taken a few metres off him. But he wrestles and fights all the way. And now they're going to ask him to go back and play the ball.
2, let it go. Jerome. 2.
So Woodbury now. They're getting good value out of their back three for metres when the forwards want to spell.
Let it go. 3. Jerome, be careful, mate. Come on.
Away there to Dunstan.
4.
That might be Stevens there.
Back here. Square. Good.
And now here's Metcalf, Sean Metcalf, and he's stamping all over them, and he's up the middle, and it's a great tackle around the legs from Jordan Warboys, but Liam Foran's pushing them to the right. He can see something on, and he's not wrong. They've got plenty of numbers. Heta keeps it going out there. It's a long ball out there, and it's a try to Cal Orchard on the right-hand side of the field to probably put the game beyond the Butcher boys. And that was very brisk movement. The halves took control after the break, and they were good value for the try. It's 30 points to 4.
Yeah, Cal Orchard will get the try, but you really have to give that to Sean Metcalf. It was a barnstorming run up the middle of the park. He obviously spotted a little gap there around the ruck, and he went straight for it. And he's such a powerful player, but Liam Foran has been fantastic. He obviously spotted the overlap instantly and shifted the ball straight to the right. And in the end, it was an easy try there for the Goannas, and you have to say that's the game.
Good bit of play, though, from Corey Barber. He used the ball very nicely there. Had to hold it up and time the pass, and he did it very well. 28 minutes to go. Cessnock lead at 30 points to 4. As soon as Sean Metcalf was brought to ground, Foran was screaming at them to get around him on the right-hand side. He knew they had them shot to bits. And really, there was only one result from there. And so Willie Hedder again has a kick at goal. Just the 5 trainers on the field at the moment. 2 from Central, 2 from Cessnock, and 1 for the referee.
Is the referee trainer, is he the guy that sort of, keeps getting knocked back from all the clubs and looking for a job and, all right, I'll do the referees?
As the kick goes wide, I think it's Tom Aylett actually running the water for the referees today. And in the first half, he copped a bit off Barney Miller as he went out there. One of the troubles about being a referee, I suppose, an off-duty referee, is you still get the blame. It's a very hard life. But Cessnock lead at 30-4. Headers missed the kick.
No starts. Good.
But they just keep scoring tries today, Cessnock. That's their 6th. And if it wasn't for those 3 missed goals, the score could be
tackle made, Dane.
bigger still.
1. Wait, boys, wait. Go.
So Oliver Powell's got the ball here. He gives it away to Dunstan. And he's driven back.
2,
One thing about
2.
Central, they'll keep digging in till the finish.
Wait, boys, go.
The coach won't accept anything less as Apthorpe gets it away to Hugo.
Held! 3.
And Foran coming back inside. They've done some different things today, Cessnock. And here's Willie Hedder back inside to Barber. And Barber taking it up strongly. He's been good since he came back from overseas. And they go over to the near side here, and Foran jams the kick down. It's not a baddie either. He split Bowen and Penny's got the fumbles. Oh dear, but they've said play on, have they? No. Referee Taylor says knock on. It's been a bit of a day for Tim Penny. It can happen to anyone.
Yeah, it hasn't been the best for him, but
Come, guys.
he's tried hard, but a few fumbles at the back, and this might end up making them pay again because they're going to get the ball 10 metres out from the line, and the way that Cessnock's playing today, you nearly have to back him in to score another try.
They certainly have looked sharp in attack all day. And when they play like this, Josh, if they played like this every week, they'd be near on favourites to win the comp. When you see them play like this, you think, this team's got to be there on grand final day for sure. It's just whether they can do it consistently. It's here's Ethan Ernst. He's just going to have a dive at him straight away.
Well, they have beaten West. They have beaten Lakes this year, so they certainly can do it.
Here's Metcalf, and they were up quickly on him, and that was good defending out there from Tom Morton. He got up and wrapped Metcalf up. They've had some trouble with him today, but not that time. Now Hatter. Sideways he goes. And Delaney eventually gets him down. They've got options to the left. They've got options to the right. Foran's over on the left. Short ball to Dunstan. And it was nice timing on the pass. Joe Woodbury reckons he's got one over on the left-hand side. He's calling for the ball. They're going to go that way, or at least they would, if it hadn't been knocked on by Zeb Dunstan. And so Central, they survive, and they'll get it back with a scrum.
Yeah, so you'd have to think that Barney Miller's going to get at least one more week in the real NRL.
On their fullback, just over. You know what I'm talking about.
But I guess the question's going to be if he can get this side really on a bit of a roll that they had last year, and I guess Curry had the year before, and whether they can, because I mean they're sort of club, aren't they? They always bring the community with them. So if they can get on that roll, they really gain momentum, and they certainly have their players to win the comp.
Well, I'm sure the real NRL board would be happy to see a Cessnock team there on grand final day because they always bring the crowds. As Central moving it forward here with Penny.
I'm sure they're probably hoping West aren't there, but of course I'll never admit that publicly.
Wait, boys, go.
As here's Wilson, carting it up strongly. He's put in well today, Cruz Wilson, as is his brother. All the Central forwards have. They've had a hard day, but they've kept turning up. Here's McBain out there to Cook, and Cook holds it up, and there's a sniff of an intercept there for Brendan Williams. And they've dodged one there, Central, because if Williams had caught that, he would have been under the sticks.
Come on, Cruiser.
With 23 minutes to go, I suppose you can't blame the Butcher boys. Are probably going to have to start pushing those passes and hoping, I guess, for a miracle they can get on some sort of roll. But it's looking hard. This Cessnock defence is looking good today.
Lock it in.
I've noticed this about Central a few times here. Look how deep the back line is at the moment. It's one of the rare times, you don't see it in rugby league much these days, but they've got their winger all the way back on the 20. They really use the... go well behind the advantage line.
Tackle, one. Go.
And that time it just all came apart a little bit for them, but you could see what they were trying to do. It looked like an all right move for a couple of passes there. As they come up the centre, here's Cruz Wilson, or it would have been, it's his brother instead, Jerome Wilson, steaming forward. And looking for the pass, and still looking for the pass. And there were four of them involved in that tackle at some stage. To the right they go with Cook, and he had no choice but to dummy there because they weren't really with him.
Let it go, Dan! Four.
And he's dragged down. Jerome Wilson's looking for the ball again. I think the chances of him passing it are fairly slim before the line. And he goes down.
Work, boys, work hard. 5 last.
And away they go to Cook. He might send this one up into the sky. It looked a bit shaky off the boot. It looked like it might have come off the outside of the boot, in fact. And Ethan Ernst took it pretty comfortably. As down on the sideline, Dan Metcalf, his shift is done. And Brett Stevens is back on the field.
Don't steal it. 2! Cruz, stand up!
And plenty of encouragement for the crowd there for Cal Orchard. He's had a blinder today. And that was a good charge. And now Oliver Powell had a dummy half. And this is what Cessnock will be enjoying, working the ball around the ruck, making the same central forwards make the tackles, get back, make the tackles again. And it makes life very difficult in the last 20 minutes of a game.
4 done.
As here's Foran and Dunstan. And Dunstan up the middle. And there's some tired defenders there. And he gets a good ball away to Sam Apthorpe, who couldn't handle it. He might claim it came off his knees, but Taylor's having none of it. And it'll be a scrum on the 40-metre line.
Another lucky break there for the Butcher boys, because if that pass stuck, there was he had support too, so they only had to beat the fullback, and you probably had to back them in to score. So as you said, yeah, they're starting to look tight up the middle of the ruck, aren't they? Central, they've done a lot of defending today, and I'd be very surprised if we don't see a few more tries before
arms over. Yeah, that's okay. Wide leg.
So if it stays like this, and if Cessnock do get the chocolates today, they'll be playing the loser of tomorrow's game between Macquarie and Lakes at Carl Oval in Belmont, as there's a tackle here on Carl Bowen as takes him towards the sideline.
Wait.
Nothing came of it in the end. Tim Penny, well, he got cleaned up and just collateral damage there as Josh Allison's come forward with the ball. The loser of tomorrow's game plays Cessnock, and they weren't fancied, I wouldn't have thought, on this performance, as Cook forward to Kelly, and Kelly's trotting all over them here. That's a good run. That's a good run. There's no giving up in that run. And they're looking left here with Delaney over there to Warboys and using the back line. And Morton, he steps straight past Metcalf. That's a worry. And over there to Bamblett. But the ball thrown inside went forward. Good attacking intent from Cessnock, but didn't quite from Central, but didn't quite come up for them. And now there's a penalty for a very ugly tackle from Tim Penny on Brett Stevens. And Cessnock will get relief further down the field.
Yeah, nothing too bad in that tackle. It was probably just a little bit. He's tried to lift him, and obviously momentum has taken him into a bit of a dangerous position. But yeah, fair penalty. But just getting back to look here on the replay.
Just got to wait for the kick
So
here,
Stevens
boys.
got the ball here, and Penny one-on-one. It was a good effort to get him into that position, but then to twist him around, and yeah, a bit of an ugly tackle. The referee entitled to give the penalty.
Just going back to that semi-final next week,
Zach and Jay, stand
my
up,
understanding is
boys.
if Macquarie would lose tomorrow, then the game would be at Peacock Field. But if they were to win tomorrow, Lakes having already had a home semi-final tomorrow, I think my understanding is that Central would host the game because they try to give a home game to every team in the semi-finals.
As here goes Williams.
Let him
Is
go.
that right? That's a curious rule, isn't it? I don't know I'd be best pleased about that if I was a Lakes fan. As the way they go to Heta and Barber.
Well, of course, there's that big controversy a few years ago when Macquarie, even being the high-ranked team, had to go and play Curry on their home turf.
That's right. I do remember that. As here's Apthorpe. Cessnock are sniffing another try here. 19 minutes to go in the game. They lead it 30-4. The way to Foran. Foran looking for the grubber kick back inside. It's not a baddie. And it was a contest between Cessnock players as to who was going to fall on it. And guess what? It was Cal Orchard, who somehow found himself 3/4 of the way on the wrong side of the field. And he falls on the ball to give Cessnock a 30-point lead.
That's the second try for Cal Orchard in the number 5 O'Neill's ties jersey. Takes the score to Cessnock.
We'll have a look on the replay here on Bar TV. And I don't know how Orchard ended up there, but it was a clever little kick from Foran, back on the inside. And the winger was always going to be favourite. As I said on the live call, it was a contest.
Love stealing tries from forwards, don't they?
Yeah, there you go. There'll be an inquiry into that after the game. But it was a contest entirely between Cessnock players there. The clever kick from Foran wrong-footed them.
That one's not empty. Sort him out, it's not empty.
And so 34-4 with Heta lining up another kick at goal. A bit of joviality now. Tom Aylett walking off the field having a bit of a laugh with Dan Metcalf. I'm sure if the scores were level, there wouldn't be any of that. It's very easy to be gracious towards referees when you're in front and winning handsomely. So Heta would fancy this kick, you'd think. He's had 3 from 6 today. Up he comes. And he's got it. That's a good kick. Snuck it inside that left-hand post, and it's 36 points to 4 here. Cessnock leading it by 32 with 17 minutes to go. And Josh, I know Central look like they're going out today, and looks like their season's going to be finishing, but their season could have finished a lot earlier, and I think they're entitled to be proud of how they've gone this year and how they've recovered.
No starts.
Yeah, I think overall, though, I think they've probably underachieved. I think their roster and how they played last year, they probably should have won more games than they have. But I think there's plenty of signs there that the positive things are going to come for this club. I mean, they're certainly performing off the field better than they probably have in years, and I think on the field there's a lot of good troops there, a lot of young kids coming through. Rowan Kelly's only his first year in coaching. I think he'll only get better as a coach. So, I certainly think there's plenty of positive things to come for the Butcher boys.
Has he signed on for next year, Rowan Kelly?
He has. I'm not sure yet if he's decided if he's going to play on. He might just be a standalone coach, but I think it's looking likely, he'll play and coach again.
6 more, boys.
As here's Ethan Ernst,
We've got a
and
zero coming.
fancied a step there to go
There'll
through
be
the
zero
central
next. Ready to
defence.
go, Gerard.
It's getting a bit
Zero.
ratty in the middle of the
Zero.
park for them.
Wait, boys. Go. 0.
And Cessnock are taking full advantage. As 4 on short ball there to Hugo, and
Tackle
Cook
1.
collared him in a good tackle.
Tackle, Ethan.
A really good tackle.
Bring back.
And Dimmick now goes for a run himself. They're all looking for the ball now.
Reece Hugo's a little bit ginger after that tackle.
Come on, Jay.
Yeah, he is.
2.
He's up in the line, but staggering a little bit. As 4 and out of dummy half. Inside there to Apthorpe, and that's a good charge.
3, Ethan.
And they're on again here. They've gone 90 metres in a set. And here's 4 and flat to Hetter. Hetter will take it straight to the line and give it to Corey Barber, who's got his second of the day. He took it to the line, held it up, and timed the pass immaculately for Willie Hetter to go over for the try. 40-4.
Just been a fantastic game by both the halves today. They've really controlled the game, Hetter and Foran. Some beautiful short passes have led to numerous tries. Of course, we've seen Foran and Hetter both set up tries with their kicks as well. So I think we'll look here on the Bar TV replay.
Yeah, the timing was beautiful there, and he made him miss. It was a great ball. Jordan Warboys over there. He had plenty of excuses missing that tackle because Corey Barber was steaming onto it off the back fence. And second rows from there, they're hard to stop.
Came back at that sort of angle as well too, made it hit the hole beautifully. But I think if you're Dean Noonan, coach of the Lakes, or Barry Moore from Macquarie, you're pretty nervous after watching this game today, because I think Cessnock are going to give them one hell of a fight next week.
You'd imagine they're watching on the Bar TV live stream, Josh.
I'm sure they am. And hello to Barry and Dean if you are watching.
Yes, afternoon. Best of luck for tomorrow. Corey Barber has been a really good addition for Cessnock at the end of this season, especially now that Alec Fatah's out of action with that broken arm. He could be a very important replacement for him in the second row.
Yeah, so Al Lantry's still over in the UK, because Lantry and Barber went together, but maybe the cold weather and the warm beer wasn't Corey's liking, but maybe Al's liking it a little bit better.
He wouldn't be the first.
But,
as Cal Orchard's come off the field, that's the 9th interchange, and he looks like he might be in a little bit of trouble, Cal Orchard. He's coming off the field, and he's heading to the change rooms. Suggestion it might be an eye injury, which is a bit nasty, and I suppose with the lead that they've got at this stage of the game, they can take him off, but I'm going to ask you in about 13 minutes and 25 seconds to give me a man of the match, Josh, and I reckon he'll be in there. I reckon he'd be on for a Dally M point today at least, as here's Willie Hetter. And the short kickoff didn't come to anything there,
Tackle one.
other than a bit of advance up the field for Cessnock. And forward they come. That looks like Brett Mendyke on there in the 14 into the back line. And Willie Hetter now away to Zeb Dunstan.
3, 13, heads. 3.
And Central, well, they haven't seen a lot of the ball in the last few minutes. It's getting away from them a bit now. They've had a good season, made the semis, but it's been one too many for them today. As here's Mendyke up the middle. It's Ernst up the middle and throws it out the back. And Cessnock are really attacking now.
Yeah, the last 15, 20 minutes, it's really all been the go-enners. They're finding so much harm space up the middle of the ruck.
Winger.
Maybe that wealth of possession in the first half's really taking its toll, I think.
When you do that much defending, it usually catches up with you, and Central are probably finding that a little bit here. But they're still trying hard, and they're still taking it up with plenty of vigour. And that was a good run there from Tom Morton. And now Cale Bowen fighting and scrapping with them.
You certainly get the sense that loss last week to Curry has really stung the Cessnock boys into this performance. I mean, I'm sure it would have been embarrassing to lose the local derby like that. So they've really backed it up with a fantastic performance here in the semi-finals.
Yeah, you could see at half-time they were really, as they went into the half 20-4 in front, they were slapping each other on the back and patting each other on the head and all that, and they seemed really up for the game. Whereas Central last week, well, I don't know if it was the best game going into the semis for them. In the end, as Warboys puts this kick up, and Ernst takes it well enough. It's a really good take in the end.
Here we go, guys.
A really, really good take.
Wait here, Cruz.
Yeah, as I say, I don't know if in the end it was a bit of a damp squib for Central last week. They didn't need to win the game against Wests. They didn't need to even lose by a small margin.
Jace, heads
And
out.
they rested a few players and got walloped, and it might have just taken the circumstances might have just taken it out of them. As here's Dimmick giving it away to Woodbury, who should have the pace from there. Ethan Cook's chasing him, but it's a despairing chase, and Joe Woodbury, he's got his second of the day. Over for the try, 46-4. No, that's his third of the day.
Yeah, it's a hat-trick, yeah.
It's a hat-trick for Joe Woodbury in the semi-final. 46-4 with 11 to go.
And again, just the middle of that ruck, it's been ordinary from the Butcher boys the last sort of 15, 20 minutes. And again, this time Josh Dimmick, I think he's been a revelation from Macquarie this year. And he found some space. And Joe Woodbury, geez, didn't he put the afterburners on then? He looked like he was only just cruising, and he lifted a gear. And
as we see on the replay, he just got past McBain there, and there was a bit of a chasm in the middle of the defence for him to stroll through. And Woodbury, you're absolutely right, he was surrounded. I thought Cook could get him, but he put the pace on. And those long strides, he's a tall fella, and he just strode through and was putting a fair gap on them by the end. Much like Cessnock are doing here now, 42-4 with a kick to come.
So watching him play, Josh Dimmick, who he reminds me of, is a guy from the 90s, remember Jim Sedaris.
Oh, only too well. Manly hooker, yeah.
Yeah, played. I think he played with the Bulldogs a bit too, a bit of a journeyman, Wests as well. Just the way he moves around the ruck and sort of stocky, old-school hooker sort of build.
Yeah, it's not a bad shout. Oh, Jim Sedaris, there you go.
Yeah, had a few footy cards of Jimmy Sedaris back in my high school days.
Well, obviously being a Newcastle supporter, all those Manly connotations, I wouldn't have had any football cards of him, but nonetheless, good player. So Willie Hedder's got this one lined up. Cessnock now have scored 9 tries today. 42 points to 4. And it's 44 points to 4. The kick goes over. So 9 minutes and 15 seconds to go here. Morgan Campbell and Josh Leeson with you on Bar TV. Tomorrow, Pete Jolly will be back, and he'll be calling Lakes and Macquarie from Carl Oval. 3 o'clock is the kick-off there, and you'll catch that as well on the live stream. It's the same situation. Jump onto the Newcastle Herald, the Newcastle Herald website, or the Newcastle Rugby League website, or bang Bar TV into YouTube, and you'll be able to get the match in full live, as you will with all the finals in 2015.
One, good tackle. Just play it, Brett. Just play it,
Cessnock are bringing it forward off their own line again now. They're making a hell of a lot of ground every tackle and every run.
2, Ethan. 2. Wait, boys, not early. Wait. Go.
And there's a bit of confusion up here in the box about this. There's I think there's been a bit of a scorekeeping mishap. Cessnock are actually in front 48-4. There you go. So there was a missed try. We lost count up here in the press box. So 48-4, Cessnock lead it. And Stevens gets swung to ground there. They're opening them up through the centre here. And now they go right, and it's Dunstan.
Yeah, it's 5 unanswered tries since the break, so it's really starting to blow out here.
And it feels as though Central haven't really had the ball for about 20 minutes. Cessnock just had it, gone down and scored, as this is a good kick for this sort of situation. He's put it into touch, has he? Yeah. About, I reckon, 3/4 of an inch from the try line. It's amazing how well you can do things when you're 40 points in front, isn't it? Everything just works for you. Liam Foran there, putting it into touch. 7.5 minutes to go here.
Yeah, he's had the ball on a string today, Liam Foran. Just his kicks, his passing game. He's really lifted for this big match.
No, I didn't, sorry.
Yeah, I must say, I don't think I can remember Cessnock playing better this year. Certainly not for a full game. From the first minute, the halves have been keen to get their hands on it, both sides of the ruck, and ordering them about. The forwards kept taking it up. And, they're good value for the win today.
Push it through there. It's out.
And this can happen with them. You get them on the wrong day, and this can be what happens as McBain gets the ball.
Help!
Well, if they get the grand final, maybe not being a number 1 sports ground, maybe the luck will finally change for the Goeies.
Maybe the hoodoo, that might be it. As the ball over the top from Carl Bowen, and Dame Bamblett couldn't handle.
That cricket ground, that oval, they just can't handle it. Maybe back on a proper football ground, rugby league ground, they'll excel.
I'm sure whoever gets there, the fans will be at least happy they don't have to bring, I think I said on the call last week, they don't have to bring 14 litres of sunscreen because it's a great place to get sunburnt, the number 1 sports ground. That big open space for the crowd, especially on the hill. Dear, oh dear.
I'm not going to miss the media box either. They've been crammed in there with about 20 people, having about 5 centimetres space to put my laptop and bang out something.
Arms in, come on, arms around your
The challenges of those old grounds, I'm sure that Hunter Stadium is going to be luxurious for us commentators and media types.
Looking through those cobweb-filled glass windows of the media box as well.
So here's the short ball to Dunstan.
Good tackle.
And it's a good hit up in the end. And Cessnock, well, they're galloping to the finish line here. And they're looking right. Over there to Heta, who's rushed, gets it away. Ernst, he's going to have another nibble at them. He doesn't mind a run at the try line.
3, let him go, boys. Let him stand,
Dimmick's in at dummy half.
Wait here. It's good.
Out the back to 4, and they're very quick up there. And in the end, it left them a bit behind at the back. And Penny, well, he knocks it dead. And Central will have to drop it out here.
Yep.
And time is going by very, very slowly, I suspect, for Central fans at the moment. 48-4, Cessnock lead it.
It's going to be a long drive down the Hunter Expressway after this game.
No starts.
Back to Charlestown.
Good kick.
As the kick goes down to Joe Woodbury and Cessnock bring it back, and that's Brett Stevens. And as I said, he's played a lot of time in the backs and on the wing and centre and all that, but he's carted it back like a forward there. He's really doing a job in the forwards this season with Cessnock when called upon. As here's Dunstan.
2! Let him go! Hands out! 2.
And Dimmick looking right. Metcalf, he's just shrugged one away there, Jace Delaney, like it was a spider. And now he's steamrolling forward. And he's still going. Dan Metcalf, goodness me. He's still going. Well, half the team got involved there.
3.
And finally, he's held up about a metre out from the line. And they're set out deep, Cessnock. They fancy this again. He's foreign. He's loving the grubber kick today. And he's got one in while being tackled there. And now there's a swinging arm from foreign. And why you would do that, 4 minutes from full time in a semi-final when you're 40 points in front, I have got no idea. And we might have a look on the replay in a moment. But Liam Foran, that was a bit of a brain snap, I'm afraid.
Well, that could cost him next week.
If that's
just looking at it live, it looked ugly.
We'll get the replay in a moment. Liam Foran, as they came across, he put it on the toe. The kick didn't come to anything. And then he went for the second kick. He was being held up. But from there, with Rowan Kelly on the ground, there you go. There's the replay. The big swinging arm there. And if Central want to go ahead with that, Liam Foran might have a bit of a problem. And as I say, a really silly risk to take at this stage in a semi-final game. If they're without their halfback next week, Cessnock, they'll have a real problem.
Well, I was just going to say how great I thought Liam Foran's been today, and how I probably would have said he was the man of the match. But that was certainly was dumb. And I wonder if we'll hear a bit more about that during the week.
Be interesting to know. As Cook goes for the kick,
We go,
plenty of elevation on that.
Finish strong.
Not a baddie at all.
Smart.
So 3 minutes and 5 seconds to go here. I noticed earlier in the day the scorekeeper up here has got the Don't Knock the Knocks CD ready to go. We haven't heard the Don't Knock the Knocks here all year, to my knowledge, but it's ready to go there. I'm a big fan of club songs in the Newcastle Rugby League. They made a bit of a comeback in recent years.
Yeah, I was just trying to think, other than Cessnock, who else has got a song?
Well, Maitland have got one.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Curry have got one that they play when they have a big win. Here's Delaney and Cruz Wilson. I have heard South play one occasionally. Lakes have played them. I've never heard West, though. And Macquarie have got one that sounds like it was recorded by Al Jolson. As here's the kick through from War Boys, and it's picked up over there by Mendyke, who's not going to get out of there, and Cessnock will have to drop it out. 2.5 minutes to go here. The sand just drifting out of the hourglass. Yes, I've got confirmation. The Don't Knock the Knocks CD. I think it's coming out. 2 minutes to go in the game.
You think that'd be a no?
And if people around the ground know that Don't Knock the Knocks is going to be played, you shouldn't see too many going down the stairs, because it's worth hanging around for, I assure you. As the kick goes down from Foran, it's taken over there by Bamblett, and he's got a bit of a lack of options there, so he's got to take it himself.
Help! Stand up, Will!
They might try and grab one late here, Central. There's Daniel French. You never know. It could still be important if someone's on the nudie run.
2:15
If they can cross for a
hands
late try here, it might save them a bit of drama on Mad Monday. I know that's a sore point with you, Josh, of course. We'll get to that in a minute. As Cook out the back to Penny.
Oh, man, I'm safe. West got the minor premiership. Right?
Oh,
I'm
okay.
in the clear.
Well, hang on. What was I thought the bet was that if Lakes made the semis at all, you had to do a nude run.
I wasn't agreeing to that. I was agreeing to if they won the minor premiership.
Oh,
Don't get
okay.
in.
Oh, geez, you would have been very nervous on
Good
Sunday
now.
then.
Yeah, had to back West for once. Had to support West.
That's Cale Bowen with the ball.
Tackle.
Over on that
Move it,
left-hand
Corey.
side of the field. Well, there you go. You heard it here first. Josh Leeson safe from the nude run as Delaney goes forward.
Tackle.
And they're
Let
trying
it
for a
go.
late try
Line
here.
them up.
Wilson over there to Cook, and he looks
Play
for a
on,
little
play
kick.
on.
It's not a bad one, but it's taken there by Liam Foran in one hand. That was a good bit of skill, and with 53
good,
seconds
what's
to go
happened?
here, Cessnock lead at 48-4. There won't be time for too much more.
Tackle
This is
one.
a candidate for the slowest
Right
play
left.
the ball in history, and there might be a bit of competition for that title over the next few seconds.
2.
Dimmick's in at dummy half, gives it away there to Mendyke. He's just had a little stint on the field in the last 15 minutes. Cal Orchard, incidentally, looks okay down on the bench there. He's back down on
4. Heads up, row
in the dugout, so nothing too serious, the
penalties,
injury,
come on.
you'd think. And with 22 seconds to go, that's about it, you'd think. Cessnock are going to win very strongly here. A very encouraging performance for the coach and for the players, and you would reckon for the fans.
Held, held.
And they'll go through to play the loser
Right that.
of tomorrow's game between Macquarie and Lakes. As here's the last tackle of the game. Willie Hedder takes no chances, jams it into touch. Joe Woodbury thought about sticking a toe on it, thinks better of it, and that's that. And they get a rousing applause from the crowd here at Cessnock, and it's well deserved because they've played as well today as they have all season, and they've played as consistently today as they have all season. Cessnock 48, Central Newcastle 4. Josh, your thoughts on the game and a man of the match, if you would.
Well, just simply, I think Cessnock were just fantastic. I can't even recall too many handling errors in the entire game. It was nearly a flawless performance. Just their young forward pack really stood up, ran the ball hard, tackled hard. As we saw, I think 5 unanswered tries in the second half. They were just brilliant, and I thought probably the man of the match. I'm going to go Sean Metcalf. I just thought he was really hard running. He set up a lot of their attack with some hard runs up the middle of the ruck. Obviously with wearing the captain's armband today, and he really rose for the occasion. Liam Foran was also excellent, really good kicking, passing game. But maybe just Sean, just by a touch, will get the man of the match.
Yeah, fair shout. Well, we've got the man of the match sponsored by Dus Hundhouse this season in the Real NRL on Bar TV. So Sean Metcalf might be able to enjoy $50 worth of sauerkraut or pretzels or pork knuckle or something, which is very good news for the Metcalf family. But there you go. That's about it here at Cessnock Sports Ground. Cessnock, they've done it very convincingly today. Central, their season ends. It'll be terribly disappointing for the supporters, but they should be proud of how they've rallied in the late weeks of this season, and if they can keep that form going for a full year in 2016, they'll be a serious threat. Well, I think it's about time to sign off here from Cessnock. Thank you very much, Josh, for your company today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Not a worry in the world, and thank you everyone out there in the world of the internet watching on Bar TV. We'll be back tomorrow with Pete Jolly calling Lakes versus Macquarie from Cale Oval at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Until then, thank you as always. Morgan Campbell signing off from Bar TV as Cessnock get the chocolates today, 48-4.
Real guys, real sport. Bar TV.